She was the explosion rock music never saw coming. Hello, and welcome to the Church of Rock and Roll, where we celebrate rock legends and entertainers who have left us. Out of the raw chaos of the late 70s New York punk scene, Wendy O. Williams stormed onto the stage like a human detonation. Clad in black leather, wielding a chainsaw or sledgehammer, she wasn't just performing. She was declaring war on conformity, censorship, and the music industry itself. With her band, the Plasmatics, Wendy didn't just push boundaries, she obliterated them. Cars were blown up, TVs were smashed, guitars and gender roles alike were shredded in clouds of smoke and feedback. Her scream was a battle cry for every outcast, every rebel, every soul that refused to kneel. This was punk meeting the apocalypse. This was spectacle meeting revolution. This was Wendy O. Williams and the Plasmatics, and rock and roll would never be the same again. Wendy Orlean Williams was best known as the lead singer of the punk rock band Plasmatics. She was noted for her onstage theatrics, which included partial nudity, exploding equipment, firing a shotgun, and chainsawing guitars. Performing her own stunts and videos, she often sported a mohawk hairstyle. In 1985, during the height of her popularity as a solo artist, she was nominated for a Grammy Award for Best Female Rock Vocal Performance. At the age of 16, Williams left her home and hitchhiked to Colorado, where she earned money by selling crocheted string bikinis. Afterward, she headed to Florida, working as a lifeguard, and then to Europe, where she worked as a macrobiotic cook in London and as a dancer with a traveling dance troupe. Around that time, she was arrested on multiple occasions for shoplifting and passing counterfeit money. In 1976, Williams arrived in New York City, where she saw an ad in the Show Business magazine that lay open on the floor of the Port Authority bus station. It was a casting call for radical artist and Yale University graduate Rod Swenson's experimental Captain King's Theater. She replied to the ad and began performing in live sex shows. She later appeared in Gail Palmer's adult film, Candy Goes to Hollywood, in 1979, credited as Wendy Williams. She was featured as a performer on a parody of The Gong Show, shooting ping-pong balls across the set from her.
I'm going to assume, I don't know where you grew up. Was it in the eastern part of the United States, south, or wherever? It doesn't make any difference.
Right?
Okay, any town, USA, really. But at one time, there was a little teeny tiny Wendy who was 3 years old, right? And she was a little tiny girl, and she had a mommy, and she had a daddy, and they said, you'll do this, and you won't do that. And she went to grade school, and she went to high school, and she might have gone to college, I don't know. And somewhere along the line, she got thoughts in her head that we have to, give society the old ultimate 1-2, and that there's fact. When did all this happen when did little teeny tiny Wendy become Wendy O. Williams?
I've always been like this. I've been like this all my life. I mean, this is just, I can't help but do what I feel, and I can't help but encourage other people to do what they feel. I mean, I really get a release and a relief when I do these things, and when it works, like for our fans, they get a relief and a release too. And I mean, this should be, everybody should have this opportunity, because when everybody holds things in, the more you suppress things and the more you repress things, all you do is create more violence. And out of this boredom, comes the violence, and comes like the assassins and the real sickies in our society.
Well, okay, I'm having a little trouble following. When you blow up a television set, that doesn't cause violence, but the other people who beat up people do. I mean, they do too, but do you ever think maybe you're causing some violence?
Well, I'm basically a pacifist, I'm not, I would hit somebody if they hit me.
Sure, me too.
But
yeah,
I'm not, too. I'm out to do things peacefully. These things have no life. These are, I feel like I'm showing this is materialism, this is, these things are not God. If something has life, there must be some better way.
But have you ever thought about maybe just bringing out a television set and giving a little kiss? You know what I mean? Instead of...
Come on, Tom, let's have some fun.
Yeah,
Since you're here...
Wendy O, the Commander of Chaos, and me and you, 68, we want to say that sex is one of the best things we got going. But remember, boys and girls, that venereal disease can kill you. Yeah, so be careful when you're choosing your partners. And remember, Wendy says, if it's not clean enough to put in your mouth, don't take it home and sleep with it.
Williams recorded a duet of the country hit Stand By Your Man with Lemmy of Motorhead in 1982. In 1984, Wendy started her solo career with the release of the Wow album, produced by Gene Simmons of Kiss. Kiss members Paul Stanley, Ace Frehley, and Eric Carr also performed on the album. Simmons brought in Michael Ray to play lead guitar. Ray was previously auditioning on Creatures of the Night studio solos for Kiss. Simmons himself played bass, but is credited as Reginald Van Helsing.
Opening the show was the Plasmatics with stripper-turned-singer Wendy O. Williams. We wondered why such a normal, ordinary, all-American girl could be referred to as the mother of metal.
I'm one of the few in my field, you know, like Wendy O. Williams, mother of metal, whatever you want to call me. There aren't any female heavy rockers. I'm just one of a kind.
Why is that? Why is that? When I was growing up, it was all males. You had to take.
When I was growing up, it was all males too, and I said, why are they having all the fun? I love heavy rock and roll. I like bone-crunching rock and roll. I like being smashed up against the wall. I like having my skin ripped off. I like feeling like an elephant dancing on the head of a pin. So I do heavy rock and roll, because that's what turns me on.
Knights in Satan's Service, as the group is sometimes known, is also developing a reputation. Several of Kiss's shows have been picketed and canceled by religious forces.
Everybody says that you're a bizarre bunch of guys, but I think you look like you're all American and typical.
Boy next door.
Hello, apple pie.
The boy
or girl next. Why would guys like you? I know you've been asked this before, but why would guys like you have problems with these religious groups? You look like God-fearing people. So.
It's the other way around. Religious groups have problems with us. We have no problem with anybody as long as I can talk and say it clearly. We've got no problems with anybody. If religious groups want to come, fundamentalists want to come to see the shows, fine with us. The problem is them. They have a problem with us.
Our fans have no problems. Everybody's happy.
Why is it that they have a problem?
Well, because they want to make a name for themselves and they want to get their names in newspapers. We spoke to one of those guys yesterday, and when we really asked him who it represented, he was a self-ordained minister in his own church. Well, why don't we all start churches and go stand on soapboxes and preach?
And make money tax-free. That's right. Yes, that's right. Be sure to send your dollars to P.O. Box. I'm gonna fight Kiss and send him to hell. Bad Spots 4 and send it to my name, Preacher Bob, B.O.B.
In 1986, she starred in Tom DeSimone's indie film, Reform School Girls. Neither she nor manager Rod Swenson liked the film when it came out, but at this point the producers had heard Commander of Chaos, her second solo album, and wanted to include 3 tracks from the album in the movie score. In 1987, Maggots, the record was released. It's the 4th studio album by Wendy O. Williams and her band the Plasmatics. Labeled as a special anniversary album, it was the last album released by the band. Despite being labeled a Plasmatics album, it is often regarded as another Wendy O. Williams solo album, largely in part because her name is over that of the band. Michael Ray plays lead guitar here, and the only original member is Wes Beach on rhythm guitar. Personally, I thought this was a fantastic album, and the voice acting was well done, offering some well-written songs, and even a few laughs along the way.
And here it comes! Walk it, dog it, ow, dog it! Oh. Getting out of here. But next week, you got coming up on MTV's Headbangers, Maggot, Moshers Ball. You got Megadeth. Megadeth to me, Megadeth to you, is going to be hosting this show next week. And we got a bulletin here. Here's the news. Right now, they say the world is being consumed by maggots. Authorities say everything is under control. I say, can you trust the authorities? I know how to do. This is the only, I'm true to myself, and I just give it everything I've got. I'm a music stylist. I like where
Suicide attempts prior to her death also indicate. Wendy first attempted suicide in 1993 by hammering a knife into her chest where it lodged into her sternum. However, she changed her mind and called Rod Swenson to take her to the hospital. She attempted suicide again in 1997 with an overdose of ephedrine. Williams died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound on April 6, 1998, when she was 48. Swenson, her partner for over 20 years, returned to their home in the area where they had lived since moving to Connecticut from New York City. He found a package she left for him that contained some noodles he liked, a packet of seeds for growing garden greens, and sealed letters from her. The suicide letters, which included a living will, refusing life support, a love letter to Swenson, and various lists of things to do, caused Swenson to begin searching the woods for her. After about an hour, as dusk fell, he found her body in a wooded area with a pistol lying on the ground nearby. She had apparently been feeding wild squirrels moments before her suicide, as well as putting a bag over her head before shooting herself to spare her partner the horrible sight. Wendy's act was not an irrational in the moment act, he said. For 4 years, she contemplated suicide. Swenson reportedly described her as despondent at the time of her death. This is what she reportedly wrote in her suicide note regarding her decision. I don't believe that people should take their own lives without deep and thoughtful reflection over a considerable period of time. I do believe strongly, however, that the right to do so is one of the most fundamental rights that anyone in a free society should have. For me, much of the world makes no sense, but my feelings about what I am doing ring loud and clear to an inner ear and place where there is no self, only calm. Yes, her suicide was tragic. It was the closing of a chapter written in gasoline and sparks. But Wendy's story doesn't end in sorrow. Her energy didn't vanish, it transformed. Her spirit still thrums through every woman who picks up a guitar and dares to roar, every outsider who refuses to shrink, every artist who breaks what's supposed to be and builds something wild in its place. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Wendy O. Williams lived louder than fear itself. And though she's gone, her echo still shakes the walls, a reminder that authenticity, courage, and rebellion don't die, they ignite generations.